living up to the UP billing and fought their way through set number 1. They did lose, but the fact is, they did put up an intense fight that the fans really appreciated inside the arena.
That's right. You know, every attempt that UP made, you'll hear the crowd really cheering for them. But I guess, you know, in that set, yes, UP lost. But what's good is that they really gave FEU a challenge. It was a much, much different game than what we've seen in their first meeting last December 3. This time around, talagang na-challenge itong FEU, and we saw how UP really forced a lot of errors on the attacks of FEU with the solid blocking that they showed today.
Indeed, FEU really had to go for the edges, for the tough, difficult shots, because UP was returning everything in set number 1.
Although, of course, we've still seen some errors that yung mga nasayang. I would think that things turned around when Palad committed that service error.
That's true. But nevertheless, UP can work on something now after they gave FEU a fight in set number 1. And, of course, Coach Nes Pamilar, we heard him very unhappy with their performance. Let's see how they do in set number 2.
As we take a look at the stats for set number 1, 12 attack points for the Lady Tamaraws, 8 for the Lady Maroons. In terms of blocking, it was better for the Lady Maroons with 2 points, only 1 for the Lady Tams. 2 service aces for the Lady Maroons in the first set.
Unforced errors, parehong 12. And that's something UP never wins in. But at least, you know, they tied with a team and forced the same amount of errors as well, as Vargas starts off on the right foot in set number 2.
Now the question is for FEU, will they let things, you know, turn out the way it was in the first set? Syempre, expectations, not just nitong si Coach Nes, but of course, everyone expected that this would be an easy game for the Lady Tamaraws. Probably a repeat of their first encounter.
Now, para naman sa UP, and this is, you know, the test of what Coach Hubalde was talking about. As you see that point scored by Las Marias, yung pagbawi, pag-recover, and get your composure back despite going down 1-0 already.
That's right. And it's also testing how far they can actually go.
Aliana Abad with a point. That's an ace on the serve. 1-all. Set 2.
Abad.
That could have been out. Make that 2-1 in favor of UP here in set number 2. 2 players going for the loose ball. And FEU tying it up at 2-all. Let's see the adjustments for Coach Hubalde coming into set number 2 as we check in with Victor Lopez.
Thanks, Eric. Coach Gerald actually told the girls that coming into this set, the Lady Tamaraws are going to be more tenacious in regards to how they play, seeing as though they are seeing as how the Lady Maroons are very serious about winning this game. Now that being said, Coach Gerald was very pleased with how the girls were able to keep pace with the FEU Lady Tamaraws. You know, there were some errors that Coach Gerald wanted to that he wanted to correct, but so far it looks like they're playing an okay game. So look for the Lady Maroons to be more active on the floor in regards to communication and movement. Eric and Ann.
Thanks, Victor. How would you assess set number 1 and you know, the play of UP?
Well, we mentioned this earlier. We saw how much more relaxed they are than the previous games that we've seen. Pero siguro ang naging problema, they still had errors. They weren't able to control their errors, and yun nga, we mentioned, ano, yung latter part, they could have won. It could have gone any other way, that last first set. Pero sayang, ano, that error turned things around and brought back the momentum on the side of FEU.
It was definitely, you know, a set where either team could have gotten it, pero unfortunately for UP, FEU got the better of them courtesy of the errors they produced during the latter part of set number 1. Vargas pushing that one long, and UP back on top by 1, 4-3.
UP up by 1.
For FEU, definitely there was some sort of dip in the level of play, and the number of errors they came up with in set number 1 really didn't help their cause.
That's right. It was a mixture of errors. Actually, we saw errors when it came to service reception. They also had some errors in offense. But they're starting well here in the second set. Although UP again, ito ang maganda naman sa UP, sinasabayan talaga nila yung FEU. They're not letting FEU take a big lead.
Now, speaking of FEU, let's listen to Jazz Reyes.
Thanks, Eric. And it looks like Coach Ness has just enough about the slow start that the FEU Lady Tamaraws have had, as he told them, kailangan mag-ingay-ingay tayo, hindi tayo dapat makarelax. As he told me that inconsistency is actually one thing that he fears. And right now I can see Coach Ness is trying to find ways in waking his team up, thinking of new plays to startle both the Lady Tamaraws and UP. The girls also have to lock themselves in the game instead of the crowd, because it is quite evident that it is affecting their play. And like you guys have said, it's communication that is lacking that puts the Tamaraws in a tough situation, as Coach Ness reminds Mary Rose Baniel especially to take care of the ball and talk, because he needs to see her also to take that leadership role to give the team a better direction to a victory in the second set. Eric and Ann?
Thank you, Jazz. Well, if that scare in set number 1 didn't wake FEU, I don't know what will. That was a very close one. They almost lost that. Pero it seems like they really recovered here in set number 2. Gwyneth Eulalio, much more accurate, much more active. You also get attacks from other players as well. That was number 11, Baniel. Napagsabihan nga ni Coach Nes Pamilar na, you take responsibility.
That's right. And it's very important that no matter what rotation they're in, somebody should be, attacking or really stepping up, especially in the front line.
Errors still very much part of FEU here in set number 2. That's another service error, giving UP a free point. They are within 1. 5 serving 6 and a service ace after Eulalio thought it was Rojas' ball. Rojas thought it was Eulalio's.
And it's the classic case. If somebody had said mine, then they would have known kung sino yung kukuha. But now they've adjusted their position.
6 all, set 2. That's an overreach
Illegal back
against Baniel.
Or rather, Giselle C.
Or was it? Oh, Giselle C.
She's a backliner and she...
But Coach Pamilar speaking to the second referee
Lady
about
Maroons
that call.
up by 1. Serving Las Maria.
Coach Ness unhappy.
She doesn't see, Giselle C doesn't seem to be a backliner, I think, is what he's saying. We got the bad end of the deal there, it seems. And that has given UP a 2-point lead, 8-6 set number 2.